guys, welcome back to yet another episode of Simply Human with me, Casey Chong. It has been a fat fucking minute. I mean, when has it ever not been a fat fucking minute? Because bitch is a college student. Also, I am very inconsistent with everything in my life. So that's another thing. But super excited to record again. This is actually my second time trying to record this episode. The first time, it was okay. Two things went wrong, or like two things happened. So, first thing that like I didn't like was that I couldn't hear myself. And I know that was an issue last time, and I finally fucking figured it out. I just clicked the wrong thing on my computer when selecting like the input for my DAW, and so that's great. I was just fucking stupid, didn't know how to work my own equipment, so that's great. The other thing was that my camera/phone ran out of storage because I was shooting in 4K 60 frames per second, and I guess 50 gigabytes wasn't big enough or wasn't enough for my phone to capture 4K 60. So I'm doing 4K 30, so hopefully this will work. And I didn't realize that I stopped recording, so now I have a fucking mirror in the back of my phone, because I shoot on the back side of my phone, because everyone knows that the back side of your phone camera is better than the front side. But so I have a mirror so I can see my phone screen, so I know if it stops recording for any reason, so I don't just talk to myself and not actually record it. I mean, yes, I do have all the audio for it from the last time, but my groove was just not it when I was trying to record it like a week ago. So round 2, hopefully this will be a lot more successful than the last time. We'll see. But yeah, enough rambling. Before we get on to today's topic, kind of want to give you guys like a life update or whatever. So I just finished I just say just finished, it's literally July. I just finished the spring semester for this past academic year. I just finished my 4th year of college, and I just have one more year and then I'll be done. I'll have my bachelor's degree, and then again I will not know what to do with my life. People have been telling me, people meaning old people meaning my grandma, has been telling me how I should go get my master's, because to her, if I don't get my master's, then I won't get a job. Even though, 1, I have a job. 2, that's not how society really works these days. You can get a job no matter what degree or lack of thereof anywhere. I mean, with this economy, living in Hawaii is definitely a struggle. I mean, I don't know fully. I fucking live with my parents because I don't have to pay for a lot of things. I don't have to pay for groceries. I don't have to pay for rent. I don't have to pay for food, internet, water, electricity, a lot of things. So if you're one of the people that shit on other people for like, oh, you live with your parents still, literally, that's the smartest thing you can do, especially now, is to live with your parents as long as possible. Yes, they can be fucking annoying sometimes, but hey, that's what family is, and you just gotta deal with it. So I'm just dealing with it, and I'm living my life. So yeah. So during the summer, I'm still working at, have I said where I worked? I don't know. I don't speak for the company. Let's just say I work somewhere at the mall that sells sex toys and anime shirts. If you can identify what single store can sell both, then you are very smart. But then again, there's not really a lot of other options that do both. So I think there's only one. And if you don't know, then you don't know. If you do, cool. During this whole time, or majority of me working there, I've been a sales associate. But now I'm a sales supervisor, so I got a $3 increase in my hourly pay, and it's so nice. It's so nice. What else? I got a septum piercing within the past, I think I got it a month ago with my friend Schmidt, who happens to be one of my exes, but we are really good friends now. I love them to death in a very platonic but heartfelt way. Oh, another thing that has been happening that is going to be today's topic is self-love. And the reason why I want to talk about self-love is because being single has definitely motivated me to find ways to better love myself. Because for too long, literally my whole life, all 22 years, I can't believe I'm 22, I have always thought that in order for me to be happy, I need to be with someone. I know that I talked about this in, I think, literally the last episode. I want to more focus on like what I've been doing to like better myself and really fine tune to who I am, because at the end of the day, you are the one that has to deal with yourself 24/7. And if you don't like being with yourself 24/7, then things aren't going to be beneficial for yourself. And we only live one life. In certain aspects it's short, and other aspects super fucking long. So since we have to live with ourselves every single second and for the rest of our lives, might as well try to make something of it. Try to enjoy being who you are and accepting all your flaws, and really get to know who you are. And I know people are like, well, I know myself because it's myself. But to be honest, I don't even really know myself. And that's kind of saying a lot because I'm pretty self-aware. But I feel like there's always room for improvement. So instead of always criticizing ourselves, because we are our own biggest critics, instead of trying to criticize each other to be better, might as well put some love and support so we can actually enjoy becoming better instead of suffering it through because we have to. I was going on a tangent, but so yeah, like I said in my previous episode, I've definitely talked about how society has taught a lot of people that in order for us to find true happiness, we have to find the love of our life, and as soon as possible. And I know social media does not make this any better, because I mean, I'm guilty of this too. Anytime that I'm with a partner and I'm super happy with them, I want to share this moment, literally any moment, but specifically like the person that I'm with. I want to share that with other people that also follow me or whatever. And I know from a standpoint of someone that can be or is single, that can be like kind of depressing to see all the time when all your friends look happy with their significant other or others. Finding the one is super unrealistic, because that doesn't validate or doesn't recognize people that are asexual, aromantic, and then people that are polyamorous too, because for them there's no, for asexual and for poly, there's no the one. Okay, I don't speak on behalf of asexual people. This is just what I know, and it might not be true. So if it is not, I'm super sorry. I will try to do my best to represent that community as best as possible. For asexual people, they don't feel the need to find the person. So when people ask like, oh, like, are you dating? Are you doing this? Are you seeing anyone? What's the relationship status? I get that people only have so much to like talk about, especially like with people that you aren't so close with, especially like family members. I know that sometimes they're always like, oh, so are you seeing anyone recently? Oh, what they're like, X, Y, and Z. For me personally, I've recognized that I am polyamorous, or I can be polyamorous. I have not practiced polygamy yet, but it's something that I am definitely capable of, and have the mindset for, because for me, like in a lot of my serious relationships, there have been moments where I thought I had cheating tendencies. For the moments that I can remember, there were a handful of times where like I was with the person, we're super stable, nothing was going on, and we didn't have any issues at the time, but I would still unconsciously like check other people out or flirt with people. I know that's not what you're supposed to do when you're in a committed monogamous relationship. I always thought, I was like, okay, am I like never going to be ready for a relationship because I'm always looking for something else? Am I never going to be satisfied? Am I just meant to date people for the rest of my life and not actually try to be in a committed relationship? I was like super confused, and I didn't know how to justify my emotions and my thoughts of other people when I'm happy with the person that I'm with. But I was talking to one of my friends who happens to be polyamorous, and I was like, hey, like, this is kind of a stretch, but with my partner, for the most part, everything is fine. No one is pissed off at the other person, but I am still like checking out this person. I am flirting with this person, and I don't mean to, because I love my partner, but I also want something with them, and I know I shouldn't because I'm in this committed relationship and I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. Like, what is up? And they're like, oh no, you're polyamorous. And I was like, oh, okay. Honestly, I feel like if people were more open to polyamory, I think there would, not that there would be less issues, because I mean, like I said, I've never practiced polygamy, so I have no idea. If people were more aware, like, that this isn't an option, I guess you would say, or a mindset that isn't wrong, it's just a different way, I think people would have less conflicts with the relationship. Maybe. I have no idea. When I found out that I was polyamorous, or that I have the potential to practice polyamory, it was just like a light bulb in my brain. I was like, this makes so much sense, because it's very unrealistic to think that someone will be the one, because no one person is going to be able to meet all of your needs. That's just not a thing that we humans are able to do for other humans. And I mean, that's why we have support systems, not a support person. We have a system because we can go to certain people for certain things of your support group. Some are only able to help you with a little bit, or maybe there's different aspects that your support group can help you, and you just have to use these people correctly. Not use them, but I guess utilize these people correctly in order for you to feel satisfied. That should also be a thing when it comes to relationships, because a handful of my friends, they've had like intimate issues with their partners, and though like intimacy isn't everything, it, especially if like physical touch is like your number one love language, it means a lot. That's something that's very vital for you. But if your partner doesn't feel like that's very vital for them to receive or to give, then you're stuck with like, okay, I'm unhappy with them. You could just like potentially just be on this cycle of unhappiness. I'm not trying to say that everyone should be polyamorous, but I feel like if more people could understand that It's okay that this one person in your life that you deeply love doesn't check all the boxes, because there could be someone else that can check the remaining boxes for you. But the only way that polygamy works is if there's communication with any relationship. But polygamy in specifically, because you're dealing with more than one other person, and if you aren't communicating with your partner or your partners about the different activities, especially if it's romantic, then that's not polygamy, that's just cheating. And yeah. I don't know where I was going with this, but I think I will probably talk about that later once I am more familiar with it, maybe more like experienced or whatever. But communication is key, as with any relationship. Moving forward, so my more recent breakup back in November of last year, I've been practicing like tarot card and oracle card readings, and literally, like, this has changed my life. This has helped me so much to understand my feelings and to be in tune with myself so much more than before. I feel like I'm not only more connected with myself, but I'm definitely more connected with my ancestors. This is the first deck that I ever got. So this was actually given or bought for me from my really good friend Jeff, and it's called The Secret Language of Light. This is what the box looks like, and it's super pretty. I really like it. So this is an oracle card deck, which is different from tarot, because tarot is kind of like a set system with specific cards, but oracle decks are vary depending on what their purpose is. Let me show you a few of them. Every deck that you're going to get is going to have a little guide booklet, and what the guide booklet does is that it has like a photo of the card and a description of what it means. I can have a whole episode about tarot cards and like how I read and stuff like that. I mean, I've only been practicing like since literally November of last year, so not too long. Plus I don't practice it every day, so not that good. But the main thing is to not second guess yourself. You have to trust your intuition, because you're not going to get the right answer if you overthink the cards, or if you are trying to get the cards to say a certain outcome. It's just not going to work in your favor. But it's helped me heal so much, and I've mostly been doing readings for myself, but I've also been doing readings for my friends. Not a lot recently, but yeah, I've just really liked it. Ooh, so a cool ass experience that happened to me recently. So I was by myself in my room, just chilling. I was on the phone with Schmitty, and I feel this tug on my hair. Like, I feel like someone going like this. And so I was like, okay, I don't know what that was, but whatever. And then it happened again, and it was a little bit more forceful. And I was like, okay, there's someone here with me. And by the way, I'm like by myself, but I'm on the phone with Schmidt. And I was like, okay, someone has something that they need to say to me. So, Schmidt, I'm going to call you right back. I guess I need to talk to the person that really wants to communicate with me right now. So I whipped out my tarot cards, and I was like, okay, what is it that you want me to hear? May I ask that you reveal who you are? And I forget exactly what cards I got, but The tarot deck that I used had both men and women. Some of my decks are exclusively women, or this one that doesn't have any gender or sex or whatever. But I could tell on the cards that I was talking to my tutu, or my tutu was talking to me. Tutu meaning grandma. And I just started crying. It was super emotional. I was just like, thank you so much for watching over me during this crazy, not crazy, but intense part in my life. And I really appreciate that you're always looking after me. I mean, I can tell, I can feel that you're watching over me during these difficult times, during my most proudest times. And then I showed her like my tattoo. I was like, I think you've already seen this tattoo, but since I know that you're here, I just wanted to just tell you that I got a tattoo in commemoration of you. It says Ohuiho, because you would always say that, and I got it on my arm because, like, for me, anytime that I part ways with someone, I never want that to be like the final last time that I'm ever gonna see them. So for me, when I hug people, it's like until we meet again, which is what it means. But like, I can just like feel her hands on my shoulders. It was quite beautiful. Yeah. Oh, another time that I've been like using my witch powers or whatever, like before November, for like half of the year, for a good 6+ months, my dog every night has been barking downstairs at a certain specific corner of the living room. And I'm like, oh, there's someone there. Cool. I thought that I could just like wait it out or whatever, and the person or being or spirit that was there would just like not be there anymore, but they weren't. So I was like, okay, I wonder if I can communicate with this person through my cards, and I'm wondering if I can kindly ask them to not be here anymore. And so at first, like, I googled it. I like pulled up a bunch of YouTube videos of like how to get rid of a ghost or whatever, and most of them were very aggressive. Like, most of them were like, you have to shout at them, you have to burn specific incense, but if you do it wrong, then something bad is gonna happen. You're gonna open something. I was like, okay, so they're not fucking with any of the stuff that we have. They're not doing anything. Like, our water is fine, our electricity is fine, like nothing has been moving around or anything. So I don't want to make them more angry. Not more angry. I don't want to make them angry because they're not doing any harm. I'm pretty sure they're just looking after us. But I would like my dog to not bark at you. So I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna fucking shout at this spirit that's not doing any harm to us. I'm not gonna burn a bunch of incense and do the wrong fucking ritual. So I have this spray from Aloha Elixir. It's called Releasing. It's a sage clearing spray. Gonna go look at that. It says, for aura, home, or any sacred space. I mainly use it for myself when I'm like really stressed out and I just need to like release the anxiety, or most of the anxiety, out of my body. I would spray a circle around myself. I do clockwise. I don't think it matters as long as like if it's like surrounding you or it's like on you. But so after I communicated with them, I was like, okay, I'm going to kindly ask you to leave, just because I don't want my dog to continue to bark at you. But I appreciate that you've been looking after us and that you haven't been messing with us. Like, I appreciate that the reason that you're here is to protect us. But at this moment in time, I kindly ask you that you leave. So I sprayed, just talked very kindly to them. And ever since then, my dog has not barked at the corner. since then, so I'm pretty sure that worked because literally the night. So I think I did it during the day. Did I do it during the day? I think my parents were gone, so I was more comfortable doing it downstairs where it was. And yeah, like, she's stopped barking ever since. So, I'm a witch. I don't use tarot cards to. Well, I try not to use tarot cards to predict my future. You can't really ask it yes or no questions because that kind of defeats the purpose. Or, like, you can, but it's not really recommended, I guess you would say. But like I said, I mostly use it for myself and for self-healing and recognizing like what I need at the moment, because especially when you go through a breakup and it's super intense, you have all these emotions, you want to get back together with them, especially like when you call them up and you're like, hey, like, do you want to get back together? And then they're really smart, and then they're like, I don't know about that, I'll think about it and I'll let you know when I have my answer. And then a couple days later you text them and you're like, hey, sorry to sound like a dickhead, but I am going to take back my request to get back together with you. And then you, like, guys don't really talk anymore, but you like watch each other from a distance. Yeah. Am I self projecting? Oh god. So that happened. Am I proud of it? Fuck no. Am I okay? I'm okay. It's fine. It's fine now. It's fine. Is it fine? Another thing that I've been doing that has been totally helping me is that I have been vlogging almost every day. I don't think I'm gonna post it publicly on YouTube or on anything, to be honest. It's mostly for myself, so I can just like look back and be like, oh, that's the dumb shit that I was fucking complaining about. Cool. Ever since like 2018, something has always like gone down during the summer, so I like wanted to document it this time. So I was like, hey, stuff always happens to me during the summer, might as well document what the fuck is going on, so I can look back at myself and laugh at myself and then be like, oh, that's why you're a dumb fuck. So back in 2018, so I just graduated from high school. I immediately downloaded Tinder after I turned 18, and then I had my first Tinder well, technically it was my second, but first legal Tinder boyfriend. That was a shit show. Yeah, we were in love or whatever, but it was so toxic, bro. He was military. And the boy had too many issues. Like, I'm pretty sure I said this in another episode where, so he was ex-military. He was living in an apartment with his ex because he didn't have enough money to live by himself, but that's whatever. And then he was like, oh, we're gonna get married in 2 years and you're gonna live with me in Texas. And I was like, fuck no, I'm still gonna be in college, plus fuck you, break up with you. Oh, 2019, I just hold around. I hope my parents are not anywhere near me. I just hold around. It's the first time I had a threesome. 2020, COVID, I got my first STI. So fun. Definitely don't recommend. So yeah, I dated this dude from Tinder again. Ex-military. What is up with me and ex-military men? Fucking hate myself. I don't hate myself. I love myself. I just don't agree with the things that I did in the past. I think I was just also like just sleeping around and stuff. I think I'm always just fucking sleeping around. And then 2021, I had like my longest relationship that I've ever had, and I was working 2 new jobs, and on top of that I was in summer school, and that was probably like the most stressed out that I've ever been, because I was balancing a new relationship that I was super happy with, but then I was also dealing with shitty coworkers and was taking 2 intensive writing classes, which is a horrible idea, and I was depressed for the majority of last summer. But yeah, I've been vlogging. I was like, where the fuck am I going with this? So yeah, I've been vlogging almost every day about like how my summer's been, how my day to day has been. To be honest, so far it's been a roller coaster. For the good chunk of it, it felt like the downfall, because I had broken up with my girlfriend, but it was fine. We're both like, yeah, we should be friends, right? And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. We should hang out later, and then we did. So that was fun. Yeah, but that's basically all that I wanted to talk about during this episode. Sorry, that was like anticlimactic. It is very important to love yourself. I know that it's such an overly said thing on social media. It's like, love yourself, a link before others. Like, how are you gonna love yourself? How the fuck are you gonna love someone else if you can't love yourself? What the fuck is RuPaul's quote?
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
This is the quote. This is the correct quote. Here is RuPaul saying it. I'm so sorry to RuPaul and the drag community. No, but it's so true. You know, you can't expect someone to pull the weight of your own. You have to pull your own weight. No one is going to do the things that you need to do because they're things that you need to do. You can't be babied through things. You have to learn how to deal with situations. You have to learn how to be by yourself, because that's the person that's going to be there for you for the rest of your life. So, and that's why I also recommend therapy, which is so great. I love my therapist. But yeah, it's so important to love yourself. Like, I'm still learning how to love myself, because I've only recently been like, I think I need to like myself more. And antidepressants is such a blessing. I know that antidepressants isn't gonna work for everyone, in the sense of like, I know that it can be really hard to find medication that best works for you and that doesn't affect you negatively, but finding help is so crucial. Therapy is the greatest self-love that you can do for yourself. And I know that like traditional therapy can be expensive, but with like today's technology, like there's so many resources that you can go to. How the fuck am I gonna wrap this up? If you have any suggestions of what I should talk about next, please let me know either in the comments down below, text me, DM me, yell at me. I don't care. It's been kind of hard thinking of different things to talk about, but I am open to anything. And if you want to be my podcast, please let me know. I would love to talk to someone. Like, I don't have friends. I would also like to feature other people again, like I did before. But yeah, if you like this episode, please leave a like. Please let me know. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Let me know how I can improve. Some of my socials. So my Instagram is kchong12. My YouTube channel is Casey Chong. You can also find my music. I did release an EP this past year. It's on every music streaming platform. Just look up my name, Casey Chong, and you will find it. And yeah, thank you again so much for listening to yet another episode of Simply Human with me, Casey Chong, and I will see and talk to you guys later. Bye!